Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Under the Rim podcast. Man, it's been all the days just feel like days now at this point. I think it's been 3 weeks since the season has been postponed, and we've just been doing whatever. Like I mentioned in the last episode, people are reaching for stories. But I hope y'all are safe. I hope y'all are staying indoors, practicing the social distancing. Everything, you just gotta stay calm. Everything will be back. It'll be fine, and just gotta wait a little bit longer. Gotta get this under control, and don't try to panic. Just do things you enjoy, and don't worry. The NBA season will be back, and I'm telling people, like, it's not gonna get canceled. I think that is the last possible thing that will happen. I think the NBA season getting canceled is the last thing that the NBA wants, that Adam Silver wants, that the players want, because that is a lot of time and effort down the drain. That is a lot of resources down the drain, a lot of people's money down the drain. I don't think, honestly, right now, I don't think it's gonna get canceled. I think there's literally a 3% chance of the season getting canceled. The season will resume, but it won't resume soon. It will resume sometime, I'll say, in the next few months. The NBA season will resume. Right now, they're just going over all their options. So just relax, stay back, watch reruns of what people are doing, watch highlights, old finals runs of your favorite teams. Unless you're the Knicks, bro, because you don't want to be going back all the way before the 2000s. Bro, just do something you enjoy. But I want to get into a couple of different things today. So you guys have probably seen April 19th, the Jordan documentary coming out. I think it's called The Last Dance or One Last Dance. I think it's The Last Dance. Coming out. Looks super. It's gonna be hype. It's gonna be amazing. And for my Canadian fellows out there, for those who can't watch on ESPN Plus, it will be coming to Netflix April 19th too, so you guys can watch it on Netflix. But it looks incredible. It looks amazing. I've always wanted to get more of a deeper insight into Jordan, of what type of player he was, the struggles he really faced, the competition, what it was like back then, because I didn't get to watch back then. I didn't get to watch Jordan back then. I didn't get to watch the competition, the games. You can watch the reruns, the games, or the highlights, but you don't really get the atmosphere you do now. You don't really know the storylines going to that game, what was going on with the players. Like, you don't have that feel of being kept up with it now. And I only got into ball, like, say 7-8 years ago now, so it's not. I wasn't there for Jordan. I wasn't there for his run. I wasn't there for his 2 3-peats. So this documentary, it says it's gonna show unseen footage. It's gonna show things that we ain't ever seen before. It is a 10-parter documentary, which is really interesting. I wonder if the episode's going to be half an hour to an hour long. If this is an hour-long episode, it's going to be 10 hours in total. It's going to be amazing. Unseen footage, too. You got people like Phil Jackson in there, Scotty, you got Dennis Rodman, and you got Kobe. And I saw Kobe in there. I almost shed a tear. From my man's. But it's gonna be interesting hearing from Kobe, because that could be one of his last great interviews that we've heard, and he's gonna be speaking on Jordan. And of course, we have Jordan himself in the documentary, and Jordan doesn't do a lot of interviews. We know this now. He doesn't grant a lot of interviews. So when he does really sit down and talk, it's gonna be something to hear. It's gonna be something like really interesting to hear. We don't really get a lot of things to talk about, but I think this is gonna give us something to discuss. Jordan is gonna come out here and talk about something, because a lot of people are going to be like, I really want to know, like, the insight into what the Bulls were facing, their mindsets going into these games. Did they have chemistry issues? Did they have these? Because a lot of things like to be forgotten. A lot of issues like to be let up. Like, a lot of different things. Like, I hear a couple people saying the Golden State Warriors weren't that good for their, like, when they got beat by the Cavs 3-1, they really weren't that good. And I'm like, huh? Like, a lot of people like to forget how good people were. Like how good Derrick Rose was, Brandon Roy. These types of players that like to get forgotten. Even teams now, you forget that certain teams had chemistry issues. They weren't perfect. They had problems. They weren't always. Jordan wasn't always hitting game-winning shots. He missed some of those shots. He had games where he played terribly, but a lot of things like to be forgotten. So I hope they highlight all of the real raw, like, emotions that this team went through, that the Bulls team did go through. And I think it's gonna be really interesting, because just looking from the previews, like, these are things we've never seen before. Each of these playoff games, like, Jordan's mindset. He said something about Scotty, something about Dennis. Like, it's interesting to me because the way people talk about Scotty and Jordan is like they always got along. They only rarely fought, and like who knows what will come up. And this documentary itself is gonna be really interesting because I remember 2 years ago when it first got announced. It's the same time that Space Jam got announced. Around there. So a lot of people are saying Space Jam 2. I mean, a lot of people are saying it's the Jordan's quote unquote retaliation to LeBron, but I don't think it is. I think he's just releasing a documentary, and LeBron himself is hyped for that documentary. So I don't think there's reasons to hate. But it's gonna be interesting because a lot of people are gonna watch this, and then they're either gonna compare LeBron to Jordan or Jordan to LeBron. It's gonna be spark not the same debate, but with more to it this time, And it's been wild. It's been wild these last few days, going back and forth on Twitter, seeing all these crazy ass takes. So I've been just scrolling my Twitter, and I've been seeing the good old Skip Bayless, bro. We don't even have sports, and yet this man is going off on LeBron for no goddamn reason, bro. This man is going off for this guy missing game-winning shots, doing all this. It's one thing, and one thing I will never understand is, as someone who is trying to get their foot into sports media and sports journalism and things like that, yes, there are things I don't like about athletes. There are things that I think they could work on or things they can do, but I don't hate people. I don't hate athletes. Unless you are like a deranged psychopath and you have only done wrong to people and you continue to do wrong and you're just an overall shitty person, then I don't like you. Like, Kevin Durant's a cool guy. Aside from what I say about him, like when he went to the Warriors, he's a cool guy. He's a cool person in real life. You see interviews and things he's done. He is a normal guy. He's a normal dude. All these people are normal and nice. But if you are I will never hate on an athlete. I will never say keep hating on them over and over unless there's reason to. Skip Bayless made a whole career out of hating LeBron, bro. And I will not forget how when it was like the top 100 players in the NBA, and either they didn't list Kobe in the top 100 or they listed him super low. And Stephen A. Smith was here debating that was blasphemous, that Kobe should be at least in there or higher up on the list. And Skip was just out here talking down on Kobe's name. We ain't gonna forget that. Like, we ain't gonna. I think there was another YouTube video I was watching too, Michael Wilbon. He used to hate on Kobe Bear. And all of a sudden, when Kobe passes, they're talking up on his name, like he was he was the GOAT or something. And like, yeah, Kobe is one of the GOATs, but they never acted like that. They dragged this man's name through the mud, and I hate when these people switch up on that, because you got to keep that same energy. Death or no death, pass or pass away. Yeah, pay your respects, but don't be switching up like that just because a man died. It's like the same thing when an artist dies, how people get on other people for just bandwagoning or only appreciating them when they're gone and not when they're here. But Kobe was a hero to a lot of us. He was a hero to like a lot of the kids growing up. And just to hear Skip Bayless still going off, and I'm gonna be cheesed because if Skip Bayless, like, say, knock on wood, something happens to LeBron or something, and Skip Bayless changes his tune, bro, I'm going off. I'm going off. I don't even care if he doesn't know who I am. I'm going off on this man. He is saying things like LeBron isn't clutch. LeBron, like, every single day this guy's tweeting about something. Like, Melo just came out on the IG live and he was like, oh yeah, LeBron like saved me from drowning one time. Like, he saved my life. Shout out to Bron. And then the next day you see Skip Bayless tweeting out, LeBron saved Melo's life from drowning. Next on Undisputed. Bro, what are you gonna talk about that he saved one of his best friends from drowning? What, like, why do you need to drag these things out? I don't get it. And this is what pissed me off the most. He is saying a lot of people like to use this thing against LeBron. It was game 6 of, I forget, it was the 2012 whatever finals against the Spurs. Y'all know what it was. LeBron attempted the 3, he missed. Rebound to Bosch, he passes to Allen, his 3-pointer, bang. Like, what happens. Tie game, they go on to win that series. They go on, and quote-unquote Ray Allen saved LeBron's legacy. We hear it over and over. Without Ray Allen, LeBron is nothing. Without Ray Allen, that's another finals loss. Without Ray Allen, okay, huh? Bro, there is no I in team. There is no one person in team. There is 5 people that are on that court. There are 12 people in a team. 12, 13 people. How many people are on a basketball team? It's not just LeBron out here. It's not just LeBron. Jordan passed to Steve Kerr for numerous game winners. Kobe lobbed it up to Shaq. What are we talking about here? We have help. And not that Ray Allen was a superstar like thing, but you have help. You need a team to win games. You need a team to win games, and not even that. So if you watch this game, and I've watched this game, I've took the time because NBA is giving out a free league pass. So I'm like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch this game. I want to see what happened, what went wrong, what really went on in this game. I want to watch it again, clear eyes. So you can see before that shot happens, the Heat were down by a lot. They were down by, I can't remember, it was like 8+ points, something like that. LeBron went on a personal, I think it was an 8 or 10 point scoring run to even get to that point. He scored all of those points straight to even get up to even have a chance at Ray Allen even doing that, So, of course, he attempts the 3. The man is probably tired, stress on the line. It's like, it's either make or go home. He just scored how many points straight? Misses the 3, okay? Bosh gets the rebound, again, passes to Ray Allen, 3, tie game. I get what you're saying. I get what people are saying. I can see, but I don't agree. I don't agree that without Ray Allen, because there has to be everybody to win these games. I'm telling you, you need teammates to win games. So why are we hampering on LeBron? Why are we hating on LeBron for missing that shot when this man went on a literal 10-0 scoring run before that to even get to that point, to even make that shot even possible? And I'm seeing Skip Bayless get on LeBron for being too passive in clutch situations. I get on LeBron sometimes too for doing like that. When I know he can drive to the rim and score, but there are times when, like there was one Cavs game, I forget. Was it in the finals or was it in the playoffs? I can't remember. I was watching one of the Cavs games when Kyle Korver was on the team. So it was clutch, and it was either tie for a 3 or win, or you could win the game with 3. I can't remember. And he drove to the rim. And of course, being LeBron, he's gonna draw all that defense to the rim. He's gonna draw it inside. So you can either take a really contested layup, a really contested shot over like 3-4 guys, and hopefully win the game, or you could pass to one of the greatest 3-point shooters ever to ever touch the ground, ever touch the court, ever lace up a pair of shoes, ever touch a basketball. Kyle Korver wide open in the corner for 3. And unfortunately, Kyle Korver misses the shot. But why are we going to get on LeBron for making the right play? Isn't that what basketball, like part of basketball, is? Making the right play, passing the ball, being smart, not taking dumb shots, And that's always been LeBron's game. I don't know how we can keep getting on LeBron for doing this. And I'm telling you right now, like, if I go this, like, I'm telling you, I'm so frustrated. I was so frustrated it was a whole like 2 days of this bullshit, and I was like, where is this coming from? There's no games. Is this guy get the league pass too? Like, it was crazy to me. I'm going on this guy's account right now, and I'm just looking. He's talking about Jordan. Like, you see, look at this. I'm telling you, first tweet back, he goes on this thing about how Michael Jordan's the GOAT, will ever always be the GOAT, and he said, Shannon, you got to give this up. It's laughable for you to try to make this case. What LeBron should be known for is epic failures. Like, I'm going to scroll even more. He's going off about Lonzo and Zion. And there was just this whole string of things where this man is going off on LeBron. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, look at this. LeBron once saved Melo from drowning. Next on it, who the hell cares? Who the hell cares? As a high schooler, Kawhi was tailoring his game after Jordan's, not LeBron's. Okay, like, why? You didn't even want to talk about Kawhi a couple months ago because he left you. Look at this. Remember, if Ray Allen hadn't follow a LeBrick 3 to win the game, or greatest clutch shot in NBA history, LeBron would now be 2-7 in the finals. 2-7. He's the GOAT. Stop it. Like, what is this? Now LeBron says this forced layoff is obviously a bad timing thing because it broke his momentum. Obviously, it's a very good thing for him because he at 35 can rest his body after playing 209 more minutes. But he's building in an excuse in case he fails in whatever playoffs we have. So you're gonna call baloney on LeBron for saying that this playoff, like this season suspended thing, it's not that good because your body is in a rhythm. It's being taken out of that rhythm. And like, it's just, however, you're going to call baloney on a man who is literally his body. He is telling you how he feels. He's not saying this is the reason why we lose. He's just saying it doesn't feel right because you can't take players out of the rhythm. You know, it's like if a player were to shoot 100 free throws and you were to pass it, let's say 70 times the same way, over and over and over, and then all of a sudden you pass it a weird way to the right and he catches it off balance or whatever, you're throwing off the player's rhythm. You're throwing off the player's shooting rhythm. It's like that, and you're messing it up, you know. But we're gonna hate on LeBron. I don't know. We're just gonna look for another reason to hate on LeBron. And I'm telling you right now, like, we need to stop with this nonsense that LeBron isn't clutch, because he is clutch. And if you don't think he's clutch, go look at the 2018 Finals run. Go look at his 2018 Finals run right now. I will not say anything to you until you go do and you watch all of his games, because I watched all of his games. I watched this guy dominate Toronto. I watched this guy take a Cavs team by himself against the Celtics, who were supposed to beat us, supposed to beat him, and he just beat them in 7 games in a commanding, as a commanding player. Dropped 51 points in the first game of the finals, but lost to a high-ass JR who forgot the score. He didn't lose to the Warriors. He lost to JR because JR was playing for the other team, apparently. I'll never forget that moment. I just couldn't believe my eyes. That was the moment when LeBron went and broke his hand and never shot the same for another 2 years ever again from 3. Like, this year, this is what I'm saying. This year he was shooting really well from the 3. And it's just annoying. But anyways, that's why I just want to vent on about, like, that section right there about Skip Bayless getting on LeBron. It needs to stop. Hating on athletes for literally no reason doesn't make sense to me. As a sports journalist, I get that LeBron made your career. If you didn't have these hot takes on LeBron, you wouldn't be as successful as you are now. No cap. All right? Facts, no printer. So, I'm sorry. Like, I don't, like, that's what I'm saying. It might be saying that I'm hating on Skip Bayless, but it's, bro, like, you need to relax. You need to do unbiased takes. Like, I'm telling you, I will cry, bro. I can't wait till this documentary comes out. Jordan, I want to see his ups and downs, highs and lows, everything, you know? But this is what I'm saying. Okay, a lot of people would like to forget, and I was having a conversation with my friend about the past and everything, about KD, him joining the Nets, how he's gonna do. I was watching an All the Smoke podcast with him, and he was saying that, like, why he left, the Warriors, the reason why he left, and I think they asked him, it was either All the Smoke or something else, and if they asked him, would you guys won if you were healthy, and he said yeah. And a lot of people, being from Toronto, I know how much this meant to the city. I know how much this championship meant to us, and how much it just like stapled Toronto on the map. You know, and just like, as we are here, we are a city, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the Raptors for doing that and being good enough to get to the finals and bringing us the title home. But with that being said, there are some Raptors fans out here. There are some of my friends I talk to that are hardcore Raptors fans, and you, for the love of God, you cannot argue with them. And I'm telling you right now, if you took I did a poll on my Instagram, and if you take a healthy, fully healthy 2019 Raptors, everybody healthy, no one missing time, fully there, Kawhi, everybody, you take a fully healthy 2019 Golden State team, Draymond, Durant, Curry, Clay, all those guys, all right? The lineup of death, you know, Iggy, all those guys. And they're fully healthy. Clay never goes down. Did Curry get injured? I don't think Curry got injured, but KD never goes down. They're all playing the best. I'm telling you, Golden State is winning that game in 5. They're winning that game in 5 or 6. Yes, I know. I know that the Raptors beat them in the regular season that year. But I'm telling you right now, that don't mean shit. That don't mean shit, because the playoffs are a different animal, and everybody knows this. The playoffs are a different beast. Players switch gears. Players become different players. They start putting up absurd numbers. They start carrying teams. It's a whole different energy. And I'm telling you, when it comes to that, when it comes down to the big moment, and you have a fully healthy Golden State team with a fully healthy Kevin Durant, do people not see what this man did when he was on the court for 12 minutes? He scored 12 points and didn't miss a shot. He didn't miss one shot, not one 3-pointer, not one mid-range. This guy was playing amazing defense, and then all of a sudden he gets injured. He gets injured on a drive left, I think it was, and that was it. But before that, this man was not missing a shot. And Toronto fans need to know that's what KD is. I am a LeBron fan. I watch this guy torch, well, not like torch LeBron like that, look like garbage because they're both playing amazing. But I saw this man make a pull-up three, LeBron's face, pull-up threes everywhere. I've seen this man dominate in games. I've seen this man dominate in finals, all right? Just because he joined the Warriors doesn't mean he's an ass player. That's why we all got angry because he did join the Warriors, because he's that much of a great player that he just made them unbeatable. He made it like a cheat code. So I'm telling you right now, if you give me the 2019 Raptors and the 2019 Golden State Warriors fully healthy 7-game series, Warriors are winning in 5 or 6. All right, this is not going to 7 games. This is not going to be as close as you think it is. Because Durant is just that X factor, you know. Kawhi is not stopping Durant. I do not care, all right? I do not care. You can tell me anything. No one is stopping Durant. No one is checking Durant, okay? Durant is shooting over anybody. He is driving to the rim. He is crossing over. He is a 7-footer with insane handles, insane defense, and a jumper. And a clean jumper, a consistent jumper. And this man has done things on the court we've never seen before. No one is checking him, all right? Like, it's like, I've always said this up to people. Kawhi will not stop people like Giannis, LeBron, and Durant. He will only slow them down. So he's only slowing down Durant. But you see what this guy was doing in 12 minutes. He didn't miss one shot. And he was torching us. And I'm telling you, if Klay was healthy, Klay don't even need to dribble to score, all right? All you got to do is leave this man open for a second, and it's it. That's game, all right? Nobody's guarding Klay. You got to worry about, and we're not even talking about Curry. If Curry got his boys, that opens up the floor for him more. That opens up spacing. That opens up the shooting. And you got Durant that could drive. Draymond as the rebounder. I'm telling you, this is why the Golden State Warriors were so unbeatable, because their team was perfectly crafted for the players on that team. And I'm telling you, a Raptors team that barely beat the Sixers is not beating Golden State Warriors in 7 games. It just doesn't happen to me. You know, it just doesn't happen to me unless it is a perfect storm like that. They are making all their shots. Durant has a bad game. Klay has a bad game. Curry has a bad game. Like, you need a perfect storm for that to happen. All right, and you need to put up absurd numbers. Like, look at LeBron put 51 points up, and he still didn't beat a fully healthy Golden State team. You know, they went back to back, and Durant was Finals MVP. So I'm telling you, while I love Toronto and I love their run and I love that they won a championship, so glad that they won a championship. Jeremy Lin got a ring. I think it was Time Lowry got a ring. Serge Ibaka needed a ring. Kawhi, like, he already had a ring, but I'm glad he got a second one. These are people just happy to see get a ring, you know, like seeing J.R. Smith get a ring. Like, if Melo were on the Raptors, he'd be happy that Melo got a ring finally, you know. So happy they did get a ring, but I don't want to take away from the Warriors. You know, it's kind of like how the first time the Cavs played the Warriors, Kyrie and Love got injured. There's always going to be an asterisk next to that. There's always going to be an asterisk next to the 3-1 with LeBron because Draymond got suspended or whatever, you know. There's always going to be an asterisk next to this. It just feels weird to me just because they weren't healthy. I feel like, you know how much of a bragging right Toronto would have if they beat a fully healthy Golden State team? That would be it. No one can say shit. But I'm telling you, ever since they got injured, and it's like, yeah, it's just a game, and there is a clip of Curry saying, oh, yeah, like, injuries happen. It's just part of the game. But I'm just saying, like, if we had to take it, I don't want people talking down on a fully healthy Warriors team like they ain't shit. I'm telling you, when they come back healthy next season, and they will, a jump shot, just because they're injured, a jump shot does not leave you. And Curry is a prime example of that. Klay is a prime example of that. Durant will be a prime example of that. We are forgetting that. Look at this Warriors team right now. You got to trade for Wiggins. They might trade him, but if they keep him, look at this. Curry opens the floor. Clay opens the floor. You're going to have other shooters around him. And that leaves the paint wide open for someone like Wiggins. For someone to drive in mid-range. He is going to thrive. He is going to thrive in a team like that. You open up the paint for this guy, it's blessed. And you got someone like Draymond who... Because right now, I don't think that the Warriors... Or like Draymond... The world is left of the Warriors this season because all of them are injured. I don't think that they were motivated to play. For obvious reasons. So Draymond played like shit. But once you got his boys back, once you got a reason to play back, you're blessed. You're blessed. They're going to be at least a top 4 seed. I don't see them dipping anything below that. If they do, that's ridiculous to me. I think it's going to be a little while to get their rust off, but once they start playing like the Splash Bros again, they didn't need Durant to go to the finals. They proved that they didn't. They beat Durant. They beat LeBron. Like they are still a 73-9 team without Durant. So they have a good bench. They have good players. Don't sleep on the Warriors. Again, not trying to take away anything from Toronto. I just think like if you put these teams healthy together, I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna happen. But that's just what I had to talk about this week. Just Skip Bayless pissing me off. COVID-19, Jordan documentary. Y'all know how it goes. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching or listening. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Music, I'm gonna try and get this on Google Play for those of you who do listen. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, check it out, youtube.com/theycallmemythic. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.